We are live. We are live, guys. Let me know if you are hearing me and seeing me. Most important, let me know if you are hearing me and seeing me, right? We are supposed to be live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn, and live on YouTube. And right there on the screen, or maybe here, is what we're going to be talking about today, which is elevating your brand and elevating your personal brand and how you can begin to build meaningful relationships and what is the connection between building meaningful relationships and building a strong and powerful personal brand. So first of all, let me know if you are hearing me and seeing me. Let me know where in the world you are joining me from. It is a wonderful good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where in the world that you are joining me from. So let me know where you are coming in from, where you're hearing me from, which part of the world. I'm always excited to see and hear where persons are joining me from around the world. That's one of the wonderful things about digital media and social media. And also let me know what platform you are joining me on. If you are looking at this live stream on YouTube or on Facebook or on LinkedIn, just let me know what platform you are joining me on. So again, a great day to everybody. And we are going to be talking about this is my third live for April. We are doing a four-part live all on personal branding, and I'm excited about next week. We do have a special guest to end it off, but we'll get to that. Um, this series is all about again learning about building your personal brand, which is something I have always or have recently shared a little bit more about why it has been so important for me in cultivating and growing and scaling my business right here or right from the Caribbean, right? So if this is the first time that you are joining my life or seeing me, hi, I am Debbie. I'm Debbie Jolie, and I also go by the name the Stammering Communicator. That, of course, has a story there. And I am a marketing strategist out of Trinidad and Tobago, which, of course, is the most southern Caribbean twin island. Um, well, within the Caribbean, right? We're right at the bottom of that of the chain of Caribbean islands, right? So today the live is all about the third live. Uh, we're going to talk about how you're going to begin to elevate your personal brand, and how you do so is by building meaningful relationships. And this is important, and this is critical, and this is key. And what I want to start by saying is that many people, when if you are a sales professional or a marketing person, or you have spent a lot of years in those fields similar to myself, you know the importance of building relationships, you know the importance of networking and how that helps to create know, like, and trust, help to foster, strengthen bonds between one organization and another. And it really is, critical for business success and business development, right? Just building successful and strategic relationships. Now, what persons don't realize is that although we are in a digital age or in the digital time, we don't really always realize that, hey, we also have to build relationships online. So we put out content, and content tends to generate inbound activity once it's really good content. And content is the starting and the building block of how you begin to build relationships, right? People actually get to know you. They know you through your content, they know your personality, they know your expertise, they know the value you offer by following you and understanding what it is you offer in this career space or personal development or leadership, wherever your specialization lies. So it is important, and let me maybe just remove this. It is important that you think about, when you are building a digital personal brand, that you are still building relationships. It starts with your content, and your content can essentially help to build your tribe, but you also have to begin to engage with persons. You have to be able to have a dialogue with persons. You have a dialogue with persons in the comments of your social media page. You have dialogue with persons who respond to your ads in WhatsApp. You have a dialogue with persons who message you in your various messenger apps on your different social media platforms. You engage with your clients through your website, through email marketing. So, building relationships, as much as we may think about it in a traditional sense, meeting somebody for Starbucks, going to company meetings, and building a rapport in that way, we actually have to duplicate that online. So, building relationships online is absolutely crucial. It is a crucial aspect of building your personal brand. And there are many ways in which you can begin to build successful relationships online. So, this is what the whole life is about. Again, my name is Debbie Jolie. Feel free to like and comment as we go, and ask any questions in regard. I will be responding to the comments live as we go. So, one of the first things that is important in building relationships is sort of establishing the value. It goes back a little bit to your content, establishing your unique value. I want to start by maybe sharing a little bit about what I have there on the screen. My name is Debbie Jolie, the stammering communicator. That's like one aspect of my brand. I talk about being a marketer, a marketing strategist, and working with organizations. But anyone who has followed me knows that I've shared that story about the stammering communicator and why I have chosen to tag myself in that way. The stammering communicator is a tagline, a name that I've sort of given myself, which is a little bit of an oxymoron, that talks about me being, a child that's stammered terribly and couldn't string two words together. Still, if you listen closely enough, or you're around me long enough, you'll hear the stutter. But I've always been an individual who likes marketing and the arts, and communications, and this is why I kind of married the two. It is an oxymoron. You will not think of a person that stutters as a person who is a communicator, or person who that is in the public space, right? So I have lots more to share on that, but I use that as part of my tagline because I wanted to really differentiate myself, and also too I wanted to take a little bit of the sting out of the stigma of persons who stutter. So I have put it on the forefront, and I can't begin to tell you how many persons have messaged me and talk about, ask about it actually first off, right? They might say they don't hear it in the videos. They might say, how did I overcome it? But it is a really, really great space for me to connect with people on a much more personal level. It makes me much more relatable. So that's one of my unique values that is going to it's my lane. It's going to set me apart. And we all, when we think about our personal brands, whether we sell particular products or services, whether we are in a B2C space or a combination of a B2B space and a B2C space, it's important that you understand your own unique strengths, your own unique expertise, your own unique qualities, and what sets you apart from everyone else. And this is what you have to be able to communicate, because this is what begins to build your brand or your personal brand as a strong brand and begins to build your reputation. But this is also what people begin to connect with you on. These values, these unique set of characteristics, your personality trait, how you position yourself. So it's important to have a clear understanding of what that is, and then of course be able to communicate that, because that is the foundation of beginning to build relationships, right? Relationships have to be built on information, dialogue, education, trust, and expertise. And when that is clear and we can communicate that, that becomes the building block of building all relationships, right? So that's one of the first steps I always say. The next one is something that we spoke about on Sunday, which was authenticity and integrity. But I want to talk about authenticity and trust. All these things are so integrated, and they interact, right? One of the first things I want to say is that who you are offline must be who you are online. And many of us, as digital entrepreneurs and digital creators, are sometimes completely different people offline and online. And that does not create a space of authenticity and trust. So, authenticity and trust are key components and building blocks of building successful relationships. I mean, just think about our own personal lives. We want people in our space who are real, who will be, who will challenge us, who will support us, who we can trust. This is the same thing when we begin to build business relationships, and when we begin to build relationships with our tribe online. We want to cultivate a space of authenticity and trust, and that's important. So, being genuine, showing up, not just in your words and your actions online, but your words and actions offline. Staying consistent throughout, delivering on your promises, what you say you are going to do. I mentioned a little bit too on Sunday about, you promise your client a quotation on Wednesday at noon and it turns into Thursday morning, which of course I'm guilty of. But these are the things we have to work on, maintaining consistency and delivering on your promises, being open to soliciting feedback, building relationships in a very genuine and authentic way. All these things will demonstrate that you are ethical, that you are um, trustworthy, and that people can begin to build successful relationships with you. So, this is important. This is something I see there's a little bit of a gap at times. Um, and it's not easy because we sometimes we want to give, sometimes people within the community want a lot from us, and people can get frustrated. But who you are online should most definitely mirror who you are offline, and you need to cultivate a space of authenticity and build that trust, right? And that's how you begin to continue to build successful relationships and elevate your personal brand, right? Another quick tip I talk about again, because I'm a digital entrepreneur, but I'm a marketer. And so I like to showcase how things are all connected in this way. Networking and collaboration is also very, very key to building a personal brand. And I said I wanted to do more of that in 2024. I started this year by collaborating with, a good friend of mine now, Marcia, out of Barbados. I started with my brand new project as well, which is collaborating with other entrepreneurs. And I'm looking at collaborating with more businesses within Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean in a number of ways, a number of spaces through content creation and through strategy. So networking and collaboration is important. Um, the expression is if you want to go far, you can go alone, but if you really want to really excel, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, that's not the actual the actual phrase, but if you really want to, skyrocket ahead, look for ways in which you can collaborate, and you could collaborate with persons within your industry, persons who are outside of your industry. You can attend particular events. You could do it both virtually, you could do it in person. There are lots of professional associations now, lots of the different chambers here and up the islands, and these allow us to really engage in meaningful conversation, offer value, and establish more meaningful connections and build successful relationships. So, guys, that's my third kind of tip. Let me know what you think in the comments. As I said, I am going um, to comment as we go along and as we begin to wrap up here now. The last thing I want to um, chat a little bit about is, and it's going to lead into my brand new and me plugging my brand new. The last thing I want to kind of chat with persons about is really building out a visual online brand. So your personal brand now, our digital brand is a combination of our digital footprint, right? How we show up on Google, how we show up in our website, how we on our website, the type of data and information that is there, how we show up on our various social media platforms, and the aesthetics is still important, right? I mean, the content and the value, I will always say, will trump it. And I will also say that, I didn't start in a space where, it's all about the glamour and all the way it looks, right? I think you build as you go, and that helps to build your authenticity and trust, and persons get to know you. So, but as you grow your brand and you grow your business and you begin to scale your business, it is so important to begin to invest in your personal brand. One of the first things I want to say that you should do is invest in some headshots. Headshots are important for all your profiles, right? Your LinkedIn profile, you definitely need, if you can, and when you can, develop a professional headshot. Your content could definitely carry, professional images. And of course, if you want to do things like, you um, you want to be a speaker, right? Persons will always ask you about a headshot for anything that they want to promote about you. So you have to have these things prepared, right? A professional headshot and a bio, a long form bio and a short form bio to help you get your foot in the door, right? You can't wait until someone asks and then you're kind of scrambling to do it. So building a visual brand also helps you in building and strengthening and enhancing your personal brand, and it helps to build recognition and brand identification, and then ultimately, of course, trust and building the relationship. And by extension too, I want to also say, yes, there are lots of content creators. I'm one of them that, video is important, and every so often we should invest in some professional videography and professional content once our companies have the budget to do so. Building that visual brand can help to really differentiate you from all the other creators and entrepreneurs. It can help you to really set yourself apart. You want to be able to distinguish yourself. You want to establish yourself as a thought leader, and a trustworthy person in your space, whether you are a makeup artist, a leadership coach, executive HR, vice president of marketing, it doesn't matter. You want to be able to differentiate yourself, and part of it in this digital space is all about sometimes the visual representation of your brand. Again, I'm saying when you have the resources and the time, make sure and invest in those, right? So with that, I lead into my brand you. And this is we are doing brand you 2.0. We just had brand you 1.0 in March. We collaborated with 4 entrepreneurs, and I'm looking to collaborate with more entrepreneurs. Someone asked me if we're collaborating with men. Yes, I am totally open. I'm waiting for my phone to ring for those guys to reach out to me. This is brand new is a project. It starts with a brand day where we do headshots, and we do a branded like corporate video for you. But it goes beyond that. In the following weeks, we will do a brand audit. We will help you to redefine your LinkedIn profile, and we will also help you to create content because, and this is part of the reason why I decided to do brand new, is because entrepreneurs and businesses as a whole struggle with not just creating content, but creating content consistently. And many people say, well, I don't get the return, or I don't think social media works. And part of it is because we are inconsistent with our content. So we're going to help you create that content through the brand photography, the videography, and creating some content for you that you're going to have for at least 3 or 4 months. And of course, you can repurpose. That's another video all by itself. You could repurpose some content as well. So this is something that I see that I wish I had like 7 years ago or 8 years ago. And a lot of entrepreneurs kind of ask about it in different veins. So we're trying to put this together in a package. So if you are interested in being a part of our brand new, our brand day starts on May the 3rd. So feel free to reach out to me, WhatsApp me, and you can be a part of our brand new 2.0. And so with that, guys, that brings us to the end. The only last thing I want to mention is to stay tuned for next week, our last live of this series. We're going to be doing more lives, but the last live of this series where we will be speaking to Cheryl Deanne Sewing, who is also another person in our personal branding space. She is, an image consultant. She is an entrepreneur. She's a keynote speaker. She has spoken on some stages that are fantastic, and so I want to introduce you to her and also introduce you to a project that she's having coming up in May. So I think this is super, super, super important. So you're going to check out my live next week, Thursday, with Cheryl. And of course, take care. Bye bye. And we'll see each other